Hey, what's going on, everyone? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Luke Skywalker on this 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm Power of the Force card. So some of you may remember me saying that I was not going to get this, but I have Han and Greedo, but Han in particular from this same wave on order. And I've also got Leia on order, the Archive Leia. And I just got to thinking, I don't want Han and Leia on the shelf in their classic outfit from A New Hope and not have Luke there with them. So I figured I'll just get it and we'll see how it is. I mean, he's got a little tiny little peanut head, but yeah, you can see, comes on this beautiful card. Yeah, good job, Hasbro Pulse. You did very well shipping this thing. This thing is perfect. Through the bubble, you can see Luke, comes with some binoculars and lightsaber. It's Anakin's lightsaber. And you got a cool picture of Luke there, Luke Skywalker, got a little Darth Vader up here, Star Wars Power of the Force, and the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm there. And on the back of the card, you can see they put this little, it's almost like a little file, and they even put dotted lines so you can cut it out if you want. But it's got some stats on Luke, so his height is 1.72 meters, status is Jedi in training, Rebel Commander, and Pilot. Classification is human, affiliation is the Rebel Alliance, of course. And it's got weapon of choice, lightsaber and blaster. And right here we have the Lucasfilm Timeline, and here we are right here with Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. You got the barcode down there, whole bunch of stuff no one reads, and they even put the little classic Kenner logo there. And through the plastic on the bottom, you can see that little piece of paper that's in every single one of them. I'm gonna get this little peanut-headed Luke open, and let's take a look at him. Okay, so I got this Luke open, and let's just take a look at him from head to toe. Now, this face is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not great, but I was expecting a little bit worse. You know, but the hair looks pretty good. I mean, it's a nice hair sculpt. I think the eyes look okay. The nose, the mouth, the skin tone, everything looks pretty good. It just doesn't quite look like Luke on Tatooine. You know, he looks very sad. Now, if you think about it, I'm sure Luke was sad on Tatooine. So, yeah, it's not horrible. But again, it's not great either. And it's just so little, a tiny little head. And if someone out there knows for sure whether or not this is the same sculpt that's just been repainted, or if this is a brand new sculpt, because I don't know, because I don't have one of the originals. So I have nothing to go on, but if someone knows for sure, is this a brand new sculpt or is it the same sculpt that's just been repainted? There's nothing much to this figure, really. I don't know, but the face is not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. And from the neck down, he's just, I mean, you got a white thing up top, this sort of it's almost like a half robe, but it's a completely separate piece, and it sort of wraps around and is held on by this belt, which is also a separate piece. But the white, I mean, it's white. It's almost too white. I kind of wish they would have dirtied this up a little bit. But, you know, that's what you got. And that's just skin underneath. It's just skin. You know, you can move it out of the way. You can roll the arms or the sleeves up. And just more skin. Oh, he's got double jointed elbows. That's pretty good. Yeah, so it's just skin with this white, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not really a tunic, because if I think tunic, I'm thinking longer. Yeah, it's like a half of a robe almost. Yeah, I don't know. It looks okay. You know, but this belt is nicely done. I mean, all this gold in here, it's very nice. Silver buckle looks good. There's your hook for your lightsaber. You got a pouch here, very nice gold paint. You got this thing, whatever that is. That looks really nice. You've got this long pouch on this side. Very nice sculpt, some nice detail. And coming around, you got some more pouches in the back. And again, some gold. Very nicely done. And if I lift up the front, you can see his pants are kind of riding low. That's pretty funny. Let's see about the back. The back actually looks pretty good, but it's just tan pants, you know, not much to them. You got some nice wrinkles here and there. It's a pretty nice texture, kind of like that a lot. You got some nice wrinkles below the knees. And the wraps around his lower legs, I think, look great. Very nice texture, some great detail. The shoes, I mean, they're just tan shoes, or I don't know, maybe it's part of this wrap. I have no idea. And the soles are a dark brown. And he's got some peg holes in the bottom of his feet, and you're definitely going to need those if you have a stand, because this guy will not stand. It has been an absolute there. Finally, yeah. Have fun trying to get him to stand. And as far as size comparisons on the head, there you go. I just grabbed Dagobah Luke. This head is way too small. It's just completely out of proportion with the rest of him. I mean, it's just really, really odd. And as far as scale, he's a little bit taller than himself. So, yeah, it's not a perfect figure by any means. But again, like I said, I didn't want Han and Leia up there in their look from A New Hope, and not have this one. So that's why I got it. But it's not great by any means. But at the same time, I'm still kind of happy I picked it up. So let's just run through articulation real quick on this Luke. So the head, you got some side to side at the head. He's got some great down. He can put his chin to his chest. And that, no, you don't get much up. His hair hits the back of his neck. The arms get up that far. And like I mentioned, he's got double jointed elbows if you roll the sleeve up. That's pretty good, actually. Way past 90. Yeah, he's practically touching his shoulder. That's actually pretty good. So the swivel is up here at the upper bicep. He's got a swivel at the wrist. The right hand is hinged side to side, and the left hand is also hinged side to side. You've got a swivel at the waist. He's got a hint of crunch, and he goes back that far. And you've got a little bit of side to side too at the waist. The legs get up that far. They go out that far. They only go back about that much. He's got double jointed knees that get up to there. Feet go down that far. They don't go up much at all. And you've got some swivel at the ankle. And as far as accessories, there's a good look at the lightsaber. You got some black paint down here. You've got a little bit of red there. The blade is super thin. Very, very thin blade. I'm almost tempted to switch this out with something else. It is so skinny. It's like from Rebels or something. Very thin blade. But the blade does pop out. And let's see how the lightsaber storage works. And that just hooks on there. Yeah, this is probably one of the best lightsaber hooks I've ever seen. That goes right on. You don't have to force it on. It goes right on. You can tip him. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, come on, stand up. And as far as popping the blade back in, just like all of them, it's not the straightest saber in the world. It's got a wacky bend right here. The hilt itself is a little bit flexible, but that's what you got. Very thin blade. And there's a good look at the binoculars. So I noticed there's like a little tab here on the back that you can hook it onto his belt, which I think is a great idea. But there's some great detail on these. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. There's some great detail on here. It kind of looks like a camera almost, but yeah, that's that side. I'm assuming that's what you look through right there. Even though that looks, well, no, can't tell. I'm assuming this is the front lens right here, and you look through these. But, I mean, these are pretty cool-looking binoculars. They're way more detailed than the ones that came with, say, Hoth Han, which are just white. I mean, they didn't paint those at all. These actually look really, really good. But sadly, the shape of his hands, there's no way to hold these without completely deforming the fingers. But with these incredible elbows, if he could hold them, he could get them right up to his face. I mean, that actually looks really, really good if he were holding a pair of binoculars. I mean, he can pretend like he's holding them. But, yeah, it's unfortunate they didn't. That's funny looking right there. I see you. Yeah, kind of wish they would have made them at least to where you can hold them on one side. But, yeah, sadly, there's just no way to hook these into his hands. So now let's see how this little tab works as far as hooking the binoculars on the belt. And that is very, 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 very stubborn, trying to hook that on there. There's not a lot of room between the belt and the shirt. I mean, it's a separate piece, but if you try to pinch it to try to flex it out, it doesn't really flex. Let me see if I can get these things on here. Oh, that was a nightmare. So it does work. I wound up having to use these pickups and hold the tab out and slide it down. Man, that was way more fiddly than it needs to be. And the tab itself is such thin plastic, I really thought I was going to break it. So I may just leave those there and not take them off because he can't hold them. I think I'm just going to leave them there. But yeah, that's not a bad look, actually. I kind of like it. All right, so let's see how he holds his lightsaber, his father's lightsaber. So he holds that pretty well in one hand down there at the bottom. If you slide it up to where the hilt is a little bit thinner, he still actually holds on to that pretty well. That's not going to go anywhere. And he holds that very well in one hand. It looks kind of goofy because the shirt kind of bunches up there. You can sort of smooth that out a little bit. Yeah, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. And you can also get two hands on it, which is a pretty good look. And he can even get the saber all the way over his head, which is actually pretty impressive because not all figures can do that. So I can get this sleeve out of the way. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But I may just leave him, you know, kind of like this, just kind of two-handing it. And that actually looks pretty good. That's very similar to how I have this one posed. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed with the side-to-side hinges on the wrist, the horizontal hinges. Sometimes these can be a problem. On this particular Luke, it's really not a big deal. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So overall, I mean, is this a great figure? No, not at all. It's this head is just way too small. It's so out of proportion with the rest of him. And it's like the rest of him is not too bad, even though he is slightly taller than himself. The head is just way too tiny. But I mean, it's not a bad looking figure. You know, I'm pretty pleased with this face. It's not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. The outfit, I mean, it's Tatooine Luke. I mean, there's not much to it. You got white up top, tan below. The belt is nicely detailed. I love the belt. And I love the binoculars, even though they were an absolute pain in the butt to get on here. You know, you can slide them to the side, still have plenty of room for the lightsaber to hang down. So I'm still happy that I bought this. I'm not like completely bummed that it just looks like crap, because I don't think it looks terrible. I just didn't want to have Han and Leia on the shelf without this Luke. But please comment below. I would love to hear from y'all. Share your thoughts on this Luke. Do you think it's just awful? Do you think it's really not as bad as everyone thought it was going to be? Just let me know. I would love to hear from y'all. And if you like videos on Star Wars The Black Series, please consider dropping a like on this video and subscribing to the channel. And please don't forget to turn on notifications because I'm always posting something. I would certainly appreciate it. And I just thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.